Republicans are trying to take away your health care. We're in the midst of a huge battle right now. Republicans in the House are going to send over a budget that will make massive cuts to Medicaid.
Trump and his allies in Congress are currently debating how many hundreds of billions of dollars they're going to cut from Medicaid, which provides health insurance to tens of millions of Americans.
Once again, we're having this huge battle over who should get health care in our country. And Medicaid doesn't just cover poor people, important as that is. It covers children in our country, millions of them. It covers people with disabilities, millions of them. It covers especially rural hospitals who rely on Medicaid reimbursements just to keep their doors open. And long-term care facilities rely on Medicaid reimbursements to provide long-term care. And look at our country, rapidly aging. We know a lot of families whose bachans, as we call them in Japanese, bachans and jichans, are kupuna, are elderly who need long-term care, who rely on facilities that rely on Medicaid coverage. So if these rural hospitals don't have Medicaid coverage, a lot of them are going to have to close their doors. I'm not just making this up. That is a huge concern all over our country by rural hospitals.
But it's important to note that even if you're not on Medicaid, this could impact you. I mean, there are a lot of rural hospitals that rely on Medicaid funding. And when they pull that funding, that means that everybody who depends on the services at that hospital will be impacted.
So once again, Republicans are trying to get rid of health care coverage for millions of people who need it. And their worldview is healthcare is for people who can afford it. Time and again, they tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And we all remember that momentous moment when Senator John McCain did a thumbs down. By that time, the Republicans had tried dozens of times to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and over 20 million people would have ended up without health care. I mean, it's amazing that they have a worldview that healthcare should not be available to everybody. That is not a worldview that Democrats have. We're talking about 13, 14 million people getting kicked off Medicaid. I think a lot of us in our communities, we know people who are getting help from Medicaid. But just let me tell you one story about a young woman who really got support from Medicaid. She lived on Maui during the wildfire. She lost her house. So Medicaid was there to help her, as she also found out that she was pregnant. She moved to Oahu, and Medicaid helped her with her pregnancy, and she gave birth to a healthy baby. But that is the importance of Medicaid. A healthy economy requires healthy people. That means we all should have healthcare coverage. So once again, we're fighting over who gets health coverage. Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid to the tune of almost $1 trillion. That is going to harm people in our community, millions of people. And we can't let that happen. In a country as rich as ours, we care about healthcare coverage for our seniors, for our children, for our people with disabilities.